Hello students, let me continue with the last part of some basic concepts in chemistry. As we were discussing the last class about stoichiometry and stoichiometric calculations. So I have already told that the calculations are done based on the balanced chemical equation. Problems will be given based on mass-mass relationship of the reactants and products or mass number of moles relationship between the reactants and products. Now to know in detail, I have already told what you mean by stoichiometry. It is a Greek word, stoichion and metron. Stoichion means element, metron means measure. So I will take one or two examples to explain the concept of stoichiometric calculations. Look to the first example taken here. What mass of copper oxide is obtained by heating 12.35 grams copper carbonate? I have written the formula of copper carbonate is UCO3. Now if you look to the problem, you are supposed to find the mass of copper oxide after heating the reactant copper carbonate. So at first you should be able to write the balanced chemical equation for the given reaction. Just look here, the balanced chemical equation for the reaction can be given as CuCO3 on heating gives you CuO plus CO2. Go on adding the atomic masses of all the elements in the reactant copper carbonate. For copper, atomic mass is 63.5 plus carbon atomic mass 12, oxygen 16 into 3, 48. On adding you will get 123.5 grams. And the product formed here is copper oxide. For copper, atomic mass is 63.5 and for oxygen it is 16. Will end up with 79.5 grams. So, if you look here, 123.5 grams of copper carbonate on heating will give you 79.5 grams of copper oxide. But what is asked in the problem? What is the mass of copper oxide obtained on heating? 12.35 grams of copper carbonate. So you should write it as therefore 12.35 grams copper carbonate on heating gives. Apply ratio proportion. You will get it as 79.5 into 12.35 divided by 123.5, which comes out to be 7.95 grams of copper oxide. So mass of copper carbonate is given and you have found the mass of copper oxide, which is the one of the products formulated. Now let us look into another example wherein mass of carbon dioxide is given there and number of moles is asked. That is problem based on the relationship mass and number of moles. Look to the problem there. How many moles of methane are required to produce 22 grams carbon dioxide after combustion? Once again, you should be able to write the balanced chemical equation for the given reaction. The balanced chemical equation is given by CH4 into brackets state that is gas plus combustion is heating the presence of oxygen. 2O2 to balance is 2 gives CO2 gas plus 2H2O gas. Right? Now this is the balanced chemical equation. If you look to the reaction equation, 1 mole of methane on combustion, this is a symbol for heating, triangle on the arrow indicates heating. 1 mole of methane on heating gives how much? Nothing is there, so it is 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Now let us look to the molecular mass of methane. Atomic mass of carbon 12, atomic mass of hydrogen 1 into 4 are there. So 4, 12 plus 4 will be 16. 16 grams of methane is nothing but 1 mole of methane. So 1 mole of methane or 16 Just look here. 44 grams of carbon dioxide corresponds to how much? 1 mole of carbon dioxide. 44 grams of carbon dioxide corresponds to 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Therefore, in the problem it is given as 22 grams of carbon dioxide corresponds to how many moles of carbon dioxide? Applying ratio proportionate will be 22 into 1 divided by 44. You will get the answer as grams cancelled. So it will be mole, 0.5 mole of carbon dioxide. Since 1 mole of methane gives 1 mole of carbon dioxide, the question says how many moles of methane are required? To get 0.5 mole of carbon dioxide, once again we will be requiring 0.5 mole of methane. Therefore, 0.5 mole of methane would be required to produce 22 grams carbon dioxide. So this is regarding the problem of mass and number of moles. Try to solve as many problems as possible, and if you don't find any solution, you can just clarify your doubts by asking. Okay. Now the last concept in some basic concepts of chemistry is reactions in solutions. This is the last part. Reactions in solution. You should know what is a solution. Solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. These substances may be either solids or liquids or gases or a mixture of them. Any one is possible. Usually, a given solid solute dissolved in a known volume of liquid solvent will give you a solution. Solid solute in liquid solvent will give you a solution. Here, one more word is referred, that is concentration. You should know the meaning of the concentration. Concentration term refers to amount of solute present in a given volume of solvent. Amount of solute present in a given volume of solvent represents the concentration of the solution. And this concentration of a given solution can be expressed in 4 different ways. The first one is mass percent, or it is also called as weight percent, W. Second is mole fraction, symbol capital X. Third is molarity, and fourth is molality. Now coming to the first way of expressing the concentration, that is mass percent or weight percent. We define mass percent as the ratio of mass of solute to the mass of solution into 100. Percent word indicates is always for 100. Now to explain this, a simple problem is taken. A solution is prepared by dissolving 2 grams of a substance A in 18 grams of water. What is the mass percent of the given solution? This is the problem. You should use the same formula. Mass percent is equal to mass of solute. What is the mass of solute given in the problem? It is 2 grams. 2 grams. Divided by mass of solution. How do you get mass of solution? By adding mass of solute and solvent. Solute 2 grams. Solvent is 18 grams. 2 plus 18, that is 20 grams into 100. Grams will cancel. So it will be 2 divided by 20 into 100, which comes out to be 10%. Mass percent of the solution is 10%. So this is regarding mass percent or weight percent. Now the second way of expressing the concentration of the solution is mole fraction. Its symbol is capital X given here. So it is expressed in terms of capital X. We define mole fraction as the number of moles of one of the components. So solution may contain 2 or 3 or 4 or many number of components together. So we define mole fraction as number of moles of one of the components to the total number of moles of all the components present in the given solution. To explain this, I will take a binary solution. Binary solution indicates it contains two components. If you take ternary solution, it will be containing three components. But here I will take a binary solution made up of two components, A and B. Capital A, capital B. Now, according to the definition, number of moles of each of the, I hope you remember, for number of moles, the symbol used is small n. Small n is the symbol. So, mole fraction of component A is represented by XA, symbolic representation given by Na divided by Na plus Nb. Now, this is mass of one of the components to the total number of moles of all the components present. All means here only two are there, A and B. So therefore it will be mole fraction of A given by Na upon Na plus Nb. Similarly, mole fraction of B, Xp is given by number of moles of one of the component B to the total number of moles of all the component, that is Na plus Nb. Remember, on taking sum of mole fraction, sum means add here, adding the mole fractions of the two components in this binary solution A plus B, Xa plus Xb is given by Na divided by this value, number of moles of A divided by Na plus Nb, plus Nb upon Na plus Nb. LCM will be Na plus Nb and denominator is Na plus Nb, numerator also will be Na plus Nb because into 1 divide the numerator and denominator, it is equal to unity or 1. So this is regarding mole fraction X. Now the third method of expressing the concentration is in terms of molarity. Let us look into the definition of molarity. Now, molarity is represented by the symbol capital M. Capital M is the symbol used for molarity. Let us look to the definition of molarity. Molarity of a solution is defined as number of moles of the solute present in 1 liter of the solution. Number of moles of the solute present in 1 liter of the solution. In general, we represent the symbol molarity as, so M is, capital M is the symbol for molarity. It is expressed as number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Now if you take this definition, the unit for molarity will be gram moles per liter. The unit in which molarity is expressed is gram moles per liter. Here I would like to take one of the problem to explain molarity. Now the problem goes as, the same problem I will be referring in the notes also. A solution is prepared by dissolving 4 grams of sodium hydroxide in enough water to make 500 ml of the solution. Find the molarity of sodium hydroxide, OH. Now this is the problem. As you all know, molarity is given by number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. If you look to the problem there, it is given in terms of ml. You have to convert it into liters, that is dm cube. So here number of moles of solute is obtained by, what is the solute here? Sodium hydroxide. Mass of NaOH divided by molar mass of NaOH divided by volume of solution in liters. 500 ml in terms of liter will be 0.500 m. So this will be the value. What is the mass of NaOH? 4 gram. Molar mass is obtained by adding the atomic mass according to the formula. Na is 23, oxygen 16, hydrogen 1. 23 plus 16 plus 1 will be 40. So therefore, if we substitute, it will be 4 grams divided by 40 grams divided by 0.500 liters, which comes out to be 0.2 mole per liter, which is nothing but 0.2 mole per liter is nothing but molarity of the solution. One very important thing you should remember here, molarity of a solution is dependent on temperature, because we are considering volume of a solution in liters. So therefore, molarity of a solution depends on temperature. And the last, fourth way of representing the concentration of a solution is molarity. The symbol is small m here. For molarity, symbol used is small m. Molarity refers to the number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 kg of the solvent. Molarity refers to number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. Mass of solvent in kg. So this will be the definition. Mass of solvent in kg means the unit will be what? The unit will be gram moles per kg. Unit will be gram moles per kg. Now to explain this, I will take one of the examples on molarity. Yes, the problem goes as such. What is the molarity of a solution which contains 36 grams of glucose? 36 grams of glucose in 250 grams of water. 250 grams of water. Now this is the problem. So number of moles of solute is given by what? Small m is equal to, the solute here is glucose. Mass of glucose is represented by C6H12O6 divided by molar mass of glucose C6H12O6 divided by mass of solvent in kg, mass of water in terms of kg. Here it is given in terms of gram. 250 grams in terms of kg, it will be 0.25 kg. Now what is the mass of glucose given in the problem? It is 36 grams. Right? How do you get the molar mass of glucose? By adding the atomic mass of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So here we will be 12 into 6. 6 are there, plus 1 into 12 plus 16 into 6. Now this comes out around 180 grams. So therefore, this will be given by 36 grams divided by 180 gram per mole into 0.25 kg, and the value comes around 0.8 molarity. Now since mass is not dependent on temperature, because mass of solvent is taken in terms of kg, molarity is independent of temperature. Now usually in the chemistry laboratory, a stock solution is prepared that solution which is already prepared is called as stock solution. For such calculations, you need an equation called as usually for you all, it is the molarity equation. Especially when you are doing the titration experiment in the laboratory, you require the molarity equation. To explain this, I will take one particular problem. If you are given 1 m solution of NaOH, sodium hydroxide, and you are asked to prepare 0.2 m solution of sodium hydroxide. For such calculations, you need the molarity equation given by M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. Now in this particular problem, what will be M1? M1 will be 0.2, V1 will be 100. Similarly, M2 is 1 molar solution, and you need to find what is V2 equal to. So according to this equation, V2 is given by M1 V1 divided by M2. On substituting, what is M1? 0.2 into V1 is 100 divided by M2 is 1. So this comes around 200 ml. So what you should do? You should take 200 ml of 1 m NaOH and then add sufficient amount of water to make it 1 liter. To make it 1 liter, how much you should add? 800 ml of water is